Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most famous invitations in all of history. Follow me. It sounds so simple, right? But the original meaning was way more radical and way more demanding than you probably think. So let's just start with a basic question. In our world today, what does it mean to follow someone? It's an everyday thing, right? It's a click, a tap on a screen. It's super easy, and the stakes are basically zero. But was it always that simple? Well, when you put them side by side, the difference between a modern digital follow and what was meant 2,000 years ago is staggering. Just look at this. The stakes, they go from low to incredibly high. The commitment, it shifts from something totally passive and digital to an all-consuming physical journey. And the cost? Wow, it goes from a single click to, well, everything you have. Your job, your home, your family, maybe even your life.
Okay, so let's really deconstruct this. This clearly wasn't just a casual follow. This was a radical command. This wasn't some polite suggestion to come hang out. It was a life-altering, point-of-no-return kind of invitation.
And here's the absolute crucial point you have to get. The call wasn't about adding a new belief to your life, like picking up a new hobby. It was a summons to completely change your identity, who you are, what you stand for, and how you live every single day. And that brings us to the word disciple. We tend to think of it as just meaning a student, but in the first century, it was so much more intense. It really meant being an apprentice. You didn't just learn from your master. You literally left everything behind to go live with them. And your entire goal, the whole point, was to become exactly like them. So as you can imagine, that kind of all-in commitment came with some pretty demanding terms of service. And understanding the true cost is absolutely key to getting what this was all about. Which leads us right to the big question. What was the real price of saying yes to this? What were you really, truly signing up for? The original texts don't mince words at all. Deny themselves meant your own will, your own desires take a back seat, and take up their cross. You got to remember, for the people hearing this for the first time, this wasn't just some poetic symbol. This was a direct and brutal image of public torture and execution. It was a call to be willing to lose absolutely everything. So you can really break it down into three core demands. First, a complete allegiance that comes before everything else, even your closest family. Second, a total willingness to suffer, accepting that hardship was just part of the deal. And third, a radical reordering of your entire life, your priorities, your values, everything around this one new commitment. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about walking from town to town. The physical journey, that outward path, it was really an expression of a profound change happening on the inside. Yeah, the whole thing was less about a change of location and so much more about a fundamental transformation of the self. It was about rewiring your mind, your heart, your spirit. The changing scenery was really just the backdrop for the real action, which was the changing of who you are. So, to put it all together, the call to follow was really an invitation to a complete personal reinvention. It meant seeing the whole world through a new lens. It meant unlearning all your old habits and instincts. It was about becoming a new kind of person. The end goal wasn't some place on a map. It was a whole new state of being. And this all leaves us with a really challenging thought for today. If you just strip away the specific historical context for a moment, what ideas or causes in our world are worth this kind of all-in, life-altering commitment? What would you be willing to follow, no matter what it cost?